I wanted to take you out straight away to a live look right here as a massive fire continues to burn in San Leon, Texas. We've been sharing with you some of these live images for hours now, and still we see a very heavy flame and smoke coming from this decommissioned electrical plant. I did want to bring you the very latest information if you're just joining us here on Live Now from Fox. This is a fire that has engulfed this decommissioned power plant near State Highway 146. And you're taking a live look at this massive smoke plume that is visible for miles. The plume of smoke has prompted a limited shelter-in-place order for parts of the nearby Bayfront community of San Leon. And officials do say at this hour the fire is contained, but it is expected to continue to burn for quite some time. You can see some of the haze from the plumes of smoke and the camera shifting around. We also see some emergency vehicles as this power plant is surrounded by brush and by trees. A concern as the fire and the flames continue to burn. And we also see beyond that what looks like to be perhaps some residential buildings. So officials do say at this hour the fire is contained, but the flames continue to flicker and the plumes of smoke continue to billow. I also wanted to share this social media post from Galveston County, Texas, sharing a little bit more information, saying that a fire occurred early this morning at the former power plant east of State Highway 146 and south of FM 646 in the Bayshore area. Texas City Fire Department and supporting agencies responded and remain on scene. The fire is contained but is expected to burn for an extended period, and we've been sharing with you those live looks, and we saw that it is still burning. And because of that, Galveston County, Texas officials say out of an abundance of caution, Galveston County Operations for Emergency Management and the GC Health District advise at-risk individuals, particularly those with pre-existing lung conditions in the area, to remain indoors as smoke inhalation may cause respiratory issues. A live look at the fire that continues to burn at this hour. And we see what these health officials are talking about. Just the massive amount of smoke in the air can cause very hazardous conditions for people who do have respiratory issues. We also see the flames continuing to flicker. Now, when I shared with you just about an hour or so ago, at least from the vantage point that we had a live look from, we did not see the flames. Now, from this vantage point, we do see a lot of the flames continuing to burn. We also see a very large water source there trying to continue to put out the fire. Officials do say that the fire is contained, but it is expected to continue to burn for quite some time. The fire started at the long-closed P.H. Robinson power plant. That is where an old cooler tower caught fire and collapsed. A second tower later ignited, and parts of the large structure then suffered internal collapses as the morning hours went on. At the height of all of this, the plume of smoke that you're still seeing rose more than 200 feet in the air. So that was a little bit ago, but still at this hour, that plume of smoke just incredibly heavy and high in the air. And because of that, there was an incident command center set up once this was concerned. This is a multi-agency response. Air monitoring was conducted. It did find no hazardous particulates, so some good news. However, there was a limited shelter-in-place order issued as a precaution because of the winds pushing the heavy smoke towards the community of San Leon. So we see some of the smoke being pushed away right there. And of course, that can cause some concerns with people with respiratory issues. We do have a little bit more information. The fire chief saying that there was no indication that anyone was actually on the site of this decommissioned plant, and no other structures or neighborhoods were threatened. So we did want to share that with you. Also, no reports of any injuries at some kind, as it seems as though nobody was actually on the premise when this fire started. So some good news there. But I did want to just share with you these images coming out of San Leon, Texas. There is no audio. This is from a chopper. But I did want to stay with this just for a moment, as this is live happening out of San Leon, Texas. You see the heavy flames continuing, the thick smoke billowing as fire crews are continuing to pour water onto this fire, working to put it out. It is contained. However, there is continuing concern for air quality, and there are winds in the area, so that always is a concern, whether some of those embers could travel, triggering some other fires there as well. So for now, while there is no audio, these are very powerful live images that we did want to share with you from San Leon, Texas. Let's continue to watch. We're going to continue to monitor this live look out of San Leon, Texas, as crews are continuing to try and put out a fire at a decommissioned power plant. We see the thick smoke and the flames there. We are going to be monitoring this. We'll be providing you some of these live images throughout the hours, as we do have access to this live look right here. But for the meantime, we are going to step away